Good afternoon, class. Me and my group will be presenting the Military Families Group Slides by Vivian Mendoza, Camilo Nieves, and Orlando Neri. First, we start off with the disparities and how COVID-19 or the impact of COVID-19 was psychological stress post 9/11 for veterans, gender, race, and ethnicity. This research talks about how the disparities of COVID-19 and veterans who experience traumatic exposure in active duty service. There was 3,180 participants or participates in the research, both veteran females and males, who were active in duty and before duty services. The participants were all over the age of 18 and up. Furthermore, using veteran metric initiatives, they were able to survey a large longitude sample surveyed 6 times within a 6-month intervals since participants left the military. The research found that stress factors involved COVID-19 that were causing even higher stress levels to those participants with traumatic exposure. The largest effects size sample group were Hispanic females, being the most worried of contracting COVID-19 than any other race. And here are some risk factors: Army spouses, mental health treatment, and engagements of the role barriers to care. Some risk factors for veteran families can happen in families that this research talks about. The risk factor: military family spouses developing mental health problems and possible barriers for mental health. And there are surveys that consist of 180 spouses, which were both done online and per paper surveys. This research was 30 to 45 minutes long. 74% was done online and 26% was done in paper for the spouses. The research found that military spouses with mental health problems were likely to face more barriers in mental health treatment symptoms, which involved depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Table 1 shows a mean correlation of the per Vistar GRD of participants who have symptoms of depression, anxiety, or PTSD, and nearly 87% of participants who don't have any types of treatment towards this mental health. Furthermore, other barriers for military family spouses was taking care of their own children or working on these participants found indeed in extra support. So here's a video clip that depicts the meeting between the U.S. House Armed Services, the committee, and 3 victims of abuse within military families. This particular clip showcases how the victims felt towards the way of the military and the commanders handled the domestic violence cases incorrectly, and shows the cases what victims believe should be changed in order to be more effective in domestic violence cases.
You had one thing that you would like to have seen changed in your set of circumstances that would have improved your ability to deal with the trauma of domestic violence, or one thing as you look to speaking out on behalf of domestic violence victims who come after you, what would that be?
Well, for myself and my family, I think the pivotal moment was when OSI closed the case and I was told that it would be up to his command whether to do anything about it or not. I was naive. I'm not from a military family. I had no idea how to navigate this system, and it made no sense to me. But as I said at the end of my statement, I do hold his command fully accountable for the eventual outcome, because I had done everything right. I had reported. I had gotten the protection order.
OSI had recommended.
And OSI had recommended a court-martial for him, and I do believe that had he been held accountable and had the military taken care of things on their end, you know, the lethality that eventually happened on our end, almost death, could have absolutely been avoided. So just the idea that, okay, well, he served 25 years and his pension would be affected, to me was like outrageous, and he should have absolutely been held accountable. Being found guilty of fraud and spousal abuse and court-martial recommendations should have absolutely happened, and I really do believe that we may have avoided near death.
Thank you.
Likewise, on the command issue specifically, because going back many years, command failed to do anything with him previously. I think my goal is still to have him court-martialed, which can be done from what I understand without bringing him back to active duty. And again, that goes back to the failure to court-martial him years ago really stems from command more than anything. Now, I had multiple issues with security force investigators never investigating, OSI not knowing for 7 or more months, just a wide variety of failures. But in the end, it was command going back many years that failed to do something that could have prevented me from ever meeting him potentially, or could have mitigated or completely prevented his abuse of me.
Mrs. Hughes?
I'd have to agree with my other colleagues in addition to the command definitely being held responsible, the failure of their role in stepping forward and recognizing the reported abuse, the evidence of abuse, in addition to FAP's failure in stepping forward and implementing and executing the DoD's abuse criteria. I don't believe that was done in my case, and that seems to be the main common thread among many other military spouses who are groomed to, first of all, not bring the abuse forward because this fear is instilled in us, and we're groomed to believe that it'll destroy the service member's career, but then when we do come forward, it's completely screened out by concluding that it didn't meet the abuse criteria, shutting down each and every resource that we could possibly.
So here's a video solution on my part.
We are the experts of development. EDIS is the Educational and Developmental Intervention Service. We serve the children of Aviano, and our goal is to hopefully identify any children that have developmental or educational concerns, and then to help facilitate that development through intervention services. The research is incredibly clear regarding when you have a developmental delay in a child, the earlier they can get intervention, the better off the child will be. So we have a full staff. We have occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech language pathologists, early childhood development educators, as well as an audiologist. If any child has any kind of emotional or cognitive delays, any kind of speech delays, motor skills delays, we can meet those needs through all the experts of development.
So the Department of Family and Policy, founded in the My Army Benefits article, the Department Army policy is to prevent spouse and child abuse, to protect those who are victims of abuse, who are threatened or often being found threat to those who are affected by abuse, and so ensure personal and professionally trained to intervene in abuse cases, since many incidents of abuse constitute violations of the law. DA policy also recognizes as a commander authority to take the disciplinary or administrative action of inappropriate cases. And here's
For
the
you
solution.
today. My name is Dr. Jessica Strong, and I am the co-director of applied research for Blue Star Families, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting military and veteran families. Blue Star Families is nationally recognized for our annual Military Family Lifestyle Survey, which covers a wide variety of topics that impact military and veteran families. Today, I'm here to share with you what our previous surveys have revealed about intimate partner violence, or IPV. In Blue Star Family's 2015, 2016, and 2017 surveys, approximately 1% of active duty spouse and service member respondents reported being hit, kicked, punched, or otherwise hurt by their significant other in the past year. However, as Ms. Logan mentioned, this physical violence is not the only but the most obvious symptom of intimate partner violence. Perhaps more alarming is that approximately 9 to 15% of our active duty family respondents reported that they did not feel safe in their current relationship. This is a potential warning sign of abuse. Finally, in our 2019 survey, approximately 2% of both spouses and service member respondents reported they had experienced intimate partner violence in the past year. These findings corroborate data gathered by the Department of Defense in 2019, which reported incidents of spousal abuse at about 21%. This seems small, but the rate is over twice that of the national population at 0.42%. Many factors that are endemic to the military lifestyle place military spouses at greater risk of experiencing IPV, including economic vulnerability, social isolation, mental health concerns, and military culture itself. I will say a few words just about each. Military spouses are uniquely vulnerable.
So, within my clip, this means that many families are often like put in threats. Many families are often not really together because of like the spouses or threats or any sort of nature like that. So what this video basically depicts is talking about leaving an abuser and how like somebody in the military can live good after